Have you ever felt like your life is just happening to you? Like you're caught in a current you can't entirely control? You want more success, happiness, and a meaningful life, but you feel stuck, unsure where to begin. Or look at highly successful people who seem to achieve amazing things and wonder, what's their secret? What do they know that I don't? If any of that resonates with you, then today's video is absolutely for you. We're diving deep into an incredibly special book, considered the final masterpiece, the culmination of a lifetime of wisdom and business philosophy from one of Japan's most revered figures, the legendary Kazuo Inamori. The book is Mind, the Power to Make Life as You Wish. Hi everyone, welcome back to BookSmart Insights, a channel for sharing knowledge for personal development through good books. Just the title itself is captivating. Mind is just one word, yet it holds immense power to shape our destiny. Many book lovers, especially those interested in business and personal development, might already know his name. Mr. Inamori founded not one, but two global giants, Kyocera and KDDI, both listed among the world's top 500 companies. But that's not all. At the age of 78, when most people enjoy a well-deserved retirement, he took on the seemingly impossible task of reviving Japan Airlines from the brink of bankruptcy, drowning in debt. And miraculously, but within just 1 year, Japan Airlines wasn't just saved, it achieved record-breaking profits, the highest in its history. An absolutely phenomenal turnaround. So what made Kazuo Inamori so extraordinary? What lies behind his astounding success across diverse fields, from ceramics technology and telecommunications to aviation? Was it some superhuman business strategy or some incredibly complex management technique? The answer, perhaps surprisingly, lies within that single profound word he distilled from over 80 years of life experience: mind, encompassing heart, spirit, and consciousness. In this final book, written when he was nearly 90 years old, Mr. Inamori states with unwavering conviction, everything in our lives, our career success, our personal happiness, even the challenges and hardships we encounter, it all begins with the mind, and it all concludes with the mind. Our mind acts like a magnet, attracting everything that comes our way. When you learn to cultivate the mind, meaning to refine, train, and elevate your inner state, you will gradually create the life you truly desire. This might sound a bit philosophical, maybe even a little abstract, but don't worry. Today, we're going to unpack these profound messages together in a way that's relatable and easy to grasp. I've read this book carefully, and the lessons truly resonated. These insights will touch your heart and offer fresh perspectives for your growth journey. All right, let's embark on this exploration into the hidden power within the mind. So, what is the core foundation for building extraordinary and sustainable success like Kazuo Inamori's? He pointed to one crucial element, a personal belief that seems simple yet incredibly powerful. All success originates from an altruistic mind. Altruistic mind? That might sound out of place in the often perceived dog-eat-dog business world, where self-interest is usually seen as the primary driver. But Mr. Inamori, who started with nothing, navigated countless ups and downs, and reached the pinnacle of success, insists that altruism is the real key. So what exactly is an altruistic mind? But it's when your thoughts consistently focus on others, genuinely wishing well for everyone around you. From these thoughts arise actions driven by goodwill for the benefit of others. It's about operating from a place of kindness, nobility, beauty, and deep care for the world. Mr. Inamori believed that actions motivated by altruism, by a sincere desire to bring value to others and society, have an inherently high probability of success. Sometimes, they even produce results far beyond initial expectations. He shared that if you start your career, launch a business, or even begin a project with a mindset that prioritizes the benefit of others, things will naturally tend to develop in a positive direction, and your destiny can shift. Before making any significant decision, Mr. Inamori would ask himself a fundamental question. Is the motive behind this good? Does it stem from an altruistic mind? He firmly believed that any endeavor born from goodwill and a heart for others would inevitably lead to a positive outcome without exception. The story of him accepting the chairmanship and rebuilding Japan Airlines is the most powerful testament to this philosophy. Try to picture this. He was 78 years old, his health wasn't what it used to be, and crucially, he had absolutely no expertise in the aviation industry, an incredibly complex and competitive field. At that time, Japan Airlines was on the verge of collapse, buried in debt, and its future looked bleak. Public opinion was pessimistic. Many considered the task impossible. Initially, he declined the offer multiple times. But then, what changed his mind and led him to take on this colossal challenge? It was precisely that altruistic mind. He thought deeply and realized that reviving Japan Airlines held three significant meanings, far transcending any personal gain. 1. For the stability of Japanese society and its economy. If Japan Airlines, a national symbol, were to collapse, it would send shockwaves of negativity and severely damage public confidence and the nation's struggling economy. Conversely, success would ignite hope and faith throughout society. For the livelihoods of over 32,000 employees and their families, if Japan Airlines went bankrupt, tens of thousands would lose their jobs, facing immense hardship. Successfully restructuring meant protecting the lives and futures of countless families. It was a profound humanitarian responsibility. 3. For the benefit and convenience of the Japanese people. If Japan Airlines disappeared, the domestic airline market risked becoming a monopoly dominated by a single primary carrier. This could lead to higher ticket prices and lower service quality, directly disadvantaging consumers, the general public. You see, none of these three reasons had anything to do with Mr. Inamori's personal gain, fame, or fortune. They all stemmed from a desire to contribute to society and to help others. This altruistic spirit gave him the extraordinary courage to face the challenge and stand firm amidst skepticism and doubt. He recalled the teachings of Confucius: to see what is right and not do it is a lack of courage. And so, he acted. Guided by altruism, he pushed forward sweeping reforms at Japan Airlines, inspiring the entire workforce and transforming the corporate culture. And the result, as we know, was astonishing. In just one short year, Japan Airlines made a spectacular comeback, achieving record profits. Hearing this, some of you might be thinking, okay, that sounds nice. Living for others, everyone knows that's good. But it's hard in reality. How can you always think of others, especially in business? I understand those doubts. However, to truly absorb and gain faith in this philosophy, we must realize Mr. Inamori's perspective more deeply. Why does altruism possess such immense power? He believed that deep within us, beyond our everyday selfish desires, exists something called the soul. And deeper still, at the very core of the soul, lies the true self. The true self is our authentic essence, the purest, most beautiful part of our being. It is filled with love, compassion, and harmony. So how do we connect with our true self? Mr. Inamori's answer is precisely this: by living with an altruistic mind. When you act for the sake of others and set aside your egoistic self, You gradually pull back the veil and move closer to that pure, true self within. And here's the magic. Mr. Inamori. Inamori believed that the true self within each individual is identical to the mind of the universe, that invisible energy source, the primordial will that created all things and constantly works to guide everything towards evolution, positive development, harmony, and happiness. Imagine this. The universe is a vast ocean, and each of us, along with all things, is like individual waves or droplets of water. We have different forms on the surface, but are all part of that same ocean, made of the same fundamental water. The mind of the universe is the essence of that ocean. When you live with an altruistic mind, you allow your true self to shine. And when the true self shines, it resonates with the mind of the universe, like two tuning forks of the same frequency, vibrating together when one is struck. When this resonance occurs, you begin to receive help, guidance, and support from the vast energy of the universe. Good things naturally start flowing your way. Difficulties are more easily overcome, and your path becomes smoother. This is the profound reason why altruism leads to success. It's not some vague blessing. It's a fundamental operating principle of the universe. When you align yourself with the universal flow of love and growth through altruism, the universe supports and uplifts you. Mr. Inamori, standing at the pinnacle of fame, possessing the wealth and status many dreams of, told us that the ultimate purpose of life is not accumulating material possessions or power, but polishing the soul and contributing to others. He didn't say this because he already had everything. He said it because he lived with a mind for others from the beginning, and that is how he achieved those extraordinary accomplishments. This also expresses the universal law we often hear. The more you give, the more you receive. When you learn to live altruistically and give without calculating, you bring value to others and receive warmth, inner fulfillment, and even material success. Altruism might seem like yielding your path to others, but you are building a solid bridge for your future. When you give roses to others, their fragrance lingers on your hands. Holding altruism in your heart is how you attract blessings and abundance into your life. So the first and most crucial lesson from the book Mind is to constantly cultivate an altruistic heart. Practice thinking and acting for the benefit of others, your community, and society. When you dedicate yourself to serving, you will find the true meaning of life and achieve lasting success. Of course, an altruistic heart alone isn't enough to guarantee success, especially when facing life's inevitable storms and challenges. Kazuo Inamori emphasized that alongside altruism, you need an iron will, unafraid of hardship, and a passionate commitment to pursue your goals relentlessly. He called this a burning fighting spirit. Have you ever started a project full of enthusiasm only to feel discouraged and want to quit after hitting a few obstacles? Or when faced with a goal that seems overwhelming, you tell yourself, "I probably can't do this." Mr. Inamori believed that the slight but decisive difference between successful people and those who aren't often lies in this very moment of confrontation with difficulty. Do you firmly believe you can do it? Do you dare to fight until the very end? The story of Kyocera's early days vividly illustrates this spirit. Kyocera started as a small, unknown factory. Gradually, through relentless effort, the company began to make a name for itself. The central turning point came when they received a massive order from the American tech giant, IBM. This was a golden opportunity for Kyocera to step onto the world stage. But it came with a highly demanding requirement. Kyocera's advanced ceramic products had to meet quality standards 10 times higher than their current capabilities. With limited technology and equipment, This seemed impossible for many, including the company's best engineers. The pressure was immense. Facing this gigantic wall, how did Mr. Inamori react? He didn't flinch. Instead, he declared to everyone, "No matter what, we must succeed. If we can fulfill this order, we will dramatically enhance our technical capabilities and launch Kyocera onto the global stage." The leader's rock-solid belief and burning fighting spirit spread throughout the workforce. From that day on, he practically lived at the factory. He didn't just direct, he was hands-on in every stage, overseeing all processes, eating, sleeping, and working late nights and early mornings alongside the workers and engineers. Every evening, after a grueling day, he would see each employee off, thanking them for their hard work. Then he would return to his office and continue working tirelessly until dawn. It was 7 months of relentless struggle, day and night. The Kyocera team poured all their energy, intellect, and passion into the effort. They experimented endlessly, failed, got back up, constantly searching and innovating, and finally, the miracle happened. After countless rigorous tests, the samples produced by Kyocera met the unbelievable quality standards demanded by IBM. The factory then went into an entire 24/7 operation to meet the delivery deadline. The resounding success of the IBM order brought more than just economic benefits. More importantly, it built enormous self-belief within the entire Kyocera team. They had proven to themselves that nothing was impossible with enough determination and fighting spirit. From then on, Kyocera continued to launch new products, undertake ambitious projects, and achieve success after success. Someone once asked Mr. Inamori the secret to achieving such repeated success. He replied with a simple but profound sentence: "Never give up." This spirit doesn't mean being blindly stubborn. It means that once you've identified a worthy goal, born from an altruistic mind, you must devote your entire being, mobilize all resources, find every possible way to overcome obstacles, and never surrender to challenges. When you feel like you can't do it anymore, that's precisely when the real battle begins. You need to push your limits and believe in the infinite potential within you. Think about the times you've given up halfway in the past. If you had pushed a little more complicated and persisted a little longer, might the outcome have been different? The burning fighting spirit is that inner flame that helps you endure the most challenging moments, turning the seemingly impossible into reality. So, how can we cultivate this fighting spirit? Set clear and meaningful goals. Goals should be big enough and challenging, but also stem from good values, like the altruism we discussed, to create powerful motivation. Believe in yourself and your potential. Eliminate negative, self-limiting thoughts. Remember, you are much stronger than you think. Break down big goals. Turn overwhelming challenges into smaller, manageable steps. Completing each small step builds momentum and reinforces belief. Mentally prepare for difficulties. Accept that setbacks and obstacles are an inevitable part of the journey. See them as opportunities to learn and grow. Seek support. Don't be afraid to share your struggles and seek help from those around you. Teammates, family, friends, mentors. Never stop learning and improving. Always look for ways to enhance your knowledge and skills to better handle challenges. Most importantly, never give up. No matter how often you fail, get back up, learn from the experience, and keep fighting. Combining an altruistic mind as your guiding compass and a burning fighting spirit as your engine will give you the strength to weather any storm and achieve lasting success. We've talked about the foundation of career success, but life isn't just about work. How can we achieve a genuinely happy, peaceful, and fulfilling life from within? In his book, Mind, Kazuo Inamori also outlined 3 solid pillars for building true happiness. They are gratitude, humility, and diligence. Let's explore each one. First, pillars. Gratitude. Giving thanks for both blessings and adversity. The first and most vital pillar is gratitude. Mr. Inamori advises us that we must learn to thank you no matter when and what happens, good or bad. Giving thanks for good things seems easy enough. When we succeed, receive help, enjoy good health, and have a loving family, expressing gratitude feels natural. But Mr. Inamori reminds us that even when life is smiling upon us, we should never let ourselves become complacent in victory and comfort, forgetting to thank those who helped us or the favorable circumstances that contributed to our success. Complacency is the hidden enemy of lasting happiness. However, the truly unique and profound aspect of Mr. Inamori's philosophy is his emphasis on being grateful, even when facing adversity, hardship, or disaster. Sounds counterintuitive. Who would thank the terrible things that happened to them? But he has his reasons. For Kazuo Inamori, harsh circumstances aren't the end. They are precious opportunities to train the mind and polish the soul. Difficulty is like the fire that tests gold. It helps us become stronger, more resilient, and gain a deeper understanding of life. Furthermore, from the Buddhist perspective he embraced, being grateful during misfortune can also help us eliminate negative karma. Karma represents the sum total of our actions, words, and thoughts from the past, both this life and potentially previous lives, according to Buddhist belief. Negative actions, lousy karma, lead to unfavorable results in the future. When misfortune strikes, it might be the ripening of past negative karma. Receiving it with a calm and grateful heart, instead of resentment, is seen as a way to pay the karmic debt, cleanse past misdeeds, and make the soul pure. He illustrated this with a personal story. The company developed an advanced artificial knee joint during Kyocera's growth phase. Doctors highly praised the product and urged Kyocera to bring it to market quickly to help patients. Due to this pressure and the desire to help, Kyocera began producing and supplying the joint before obtaining official approval from the Ministry of Health. And then the scandal broke. Major newspapers and magazines slammed Kyocera for illegally selling artificial knees for profit, accusing them of disregarding the law and patient health. Public opinion erupted. Both Kyocera and Mr. Inamori personally faced intense criticism. It was a severe public relations crisis. He didn't make excuses, repeatedly taking responsibility and apologizing publicly. But the issue dragged on, leaving him physically and mentally exhausted. In desperation, he sought advice from a revered monk, his spiritual mentor. They sat facing each other in silence. The monk calmly prepared tea, listened patiently to the story, and gently told Inamori, "This is good. When calamity strikes, it's precisely the time when past negative karma is erased. Enduring this can help you cleanse the mistakes you've made. You should actually be celebrating." Those words were like a wake-up call for Mr. Inamori. He suddenly understood. Instead of wallowing in suffering and resentment, he began to see the criticism and hardship as an opportunity for repentance, for purifying his soul. He realized that only the sincerest repentance could wash away karmic debts. What's the lesson here? We cannot live without experiencing pain, failure, or pain, or adversity. It's an unavoidable part of life. Instead of despairing, getting discouraged, or blaming others, try shifting your perspective in those moments. See it as a chance to grow, to become stronger, and more profoundly, practice gratitude. Give thanks even for the bad things and difficulties. When you can do that, your mind will find peace, and you'll discover the strength to overcome and move forward more quickly. This is the secret of secrets to navigating the arduous journey of life with resilience. Second pillars, humility, the protective charm against misfortune. The second pillar of happiness is humility. Mr. Inamori called humility a protective charm. Why? Because possessing a humble heart can help you avoid many unnecessary disasters and troubles in life. It's like wearing invisible armor. We humans have a natural tendency to become complacent and arrogant when we achieve little success. Our ego quickly inflates when our career goes well, we earn more money, and others praise our talents. Our minds can soar like kites in the wind, forgetting where we stand. If we let this continue, we inadvertently become arrogant, dismissive of others, stop listening to advice, and become prone to poor decisions. Arrogance is the seed of failure and downfall. So, how do we maintain humility, especially at the peak? Mr. Inamori offers a thought-provoking perspective. Everything we often mistakenly believe is ours, from our body, mind, thoughts, and emotions to money, status, abilities, and reputation is just bestowed upon us. We are lent these things by the universe and life for a certain period. Your talent might partly be due to your effort. Still, it also involves genetics, the luck of being born into favorable circumstances, and a good education. Your success might be due to your hard work, but it also requires the help of others, good timing, and supportive social conditions. Realizing this, the thought, "All this success is solely my own creation," is unfounded and somewhat delusional. When we understand this and regularly remind ourselves in life and work that everything we have is a gift, a blessing, then arrogance naturally disappears. Instead, our hearts fill with humility and gratitude. Humility isn't self-deprecation. It's accurate awareness of our place in the universe, being thankful for what we have, and respecting those around us. Humble people are always willing to listen and learn. As a result, they continuously improve and are loved and supported by others. Third pillars, diligence, the key to endurance. Finally, after having an altruistic mind as our guide and gratitude and humility as our spiritual foundation, the remaining elements for sustaining growth and lasting happiness are diligence, hard work, and perseverance. No matter how beautiful the philosophy or how strong the willpower is, it remains a mere theory if it's not translated into concrete action or persistent daily effort. Success and happiness don't arrive overnight. They are the result of a process of diligent, dedicated, and continuous work. Mr. Inamori himself was a shining example of diligence. He worked tirelessly throughout his life, always setting high standards and striving to perform his work to the best of his ability. Diligence here isn't just about working long hours. It's about working with focus, purpose, and a serious, earnest attitude. Carry the positive life philosophies we've discussed: altruism, gratitude, humility, fighting spirit, and turn them into concrete actions through daily diligence and hard work. Be diligent in your work, diligent in learning, and diligent in self-improvement. When you combine the right attitude with relentless effort, you will quickly reap deserving rewards and build a life of lasting happiness and success. According to Kazuo Inamori, the 3 pillars of happiness are always maintaining gratitude in all circumstances, cultivating humility to avoid misfortune, and practicing unwavering diligence in everything you do. Another crucial concept runs throughout the book Mind, emphasized by Mr. Inamori as a law governing our lives. It's the belief that everything that happens in life is attracted and shaped by our mind. In other words, the energy field radiating from your mind determines your destiny. Sounds a bit like the law of attraction we often hear about. Mr. Inamori expressed this clearly. All the unhappiness in life has no other cause than being attracted by one's mind. The mind constantly emits thoughts of misfortune and ceaselessly complains. That calls forth misfortune. He viewed complaining as poison. The more you complain about difficulties, bad luck, or things you dislike, the worse your situation becomes. Why? When you complain, you're focusing negative energy on the problem and planting negative seeds in your mind and the energy field around you. And according to natural law, you will reap what you sow, attracting more unhappiness and difficulty. Let's be honest with ourselves. How often do we complain daily? When stuck in traffic? When work isn't going well? When dealing with a difficult person? When the weather isn't ideal? Isn't the first reaction for many of us to grumble and whine? And what's the result? The traffic jams persist, the work remains challenging, the person is still there, the weather doesn't change. Only our mood worsens, and we feel like the whole world is against us. Mr. Inamori pointed out that the more you fear something, the more likely you will encounter it. The more you try to avoid something, the more likely you will run straight into it. The people and things you dislike or resent are actually attracted to you by your negative, resistant mind. As an artist once said, people are easily hypnotized by what they say, and the complaints you constantly voice will become your life. So where's the way out? How can we change our destiny and attract good things instead of misfortune? The answer lies in changing your energy field by adjusting your mindset, stopping harmful energy transmission, and cultivating a positive, optimistic mind. When you do that, you can find light even in the darkest circumstances. Kazuo Inamori was the man who carries the sun with him. No matter what happened, his face always seemed to wear an optimistic smile, radiating positive energy. He believed that as long as you maintain an upbeat attitude, even in the worst situations, you can find a way to turn things around and transform danger into safety and difficulty into opportunity. His own youth provides an inspiring example of the power of a positive mind. He was born into an unfortunate family. 2 uncles and an aunt had died from tuberculosis. The whole family was labeled the tuberculosis family by neighbors. The fear of this disease haunted his childhood. He constantly worried he would also die from tuberculosis. And what he feared actually happened. He contracted tuberculosis. His body weakened, his spirit broke, his studies suffered, and nothing seemed right. He fell into despair. At that moment, a kind neighbor gave him a book called The Truth of Life. Inside were sentences that completely changed his life. Within each person's heart lies a magnet. It can attract whatever you think. Any hardship or calamity occurs because of the existence of a mind that attracts them. Nothing comes to us that we have not invited. Reading those words, his mind lit up. He realized his own fear and negative thoughts had invited the disease. He decided to change. He stopped dwelling on despair and hopelessness. Instead, he started studying hard again, putting all his effort into preparing for the middle school entrance exam, which he had failed twice before. Then, war broke out, and his hometown was heavily bombed. Many people fled in panic, fearing death. But Inamori, now fearless, didn't run. With his new mindset, he stayed calm and actively helped the elderly and sick during the evacuation. And then, the miracle occurred. After the war, not only had he survived the bombing raids, but his tuberculosis had also disappeared naturally, without specific medical treatment. At the same time, he successfully passed the entrance exam for the middle school he longed for. He wrote in the book, "The power of the heart, mind, can create all sorts of unbelievable phenomena." This is a testament to the famous law of the energy field. Although we can't see this energy field around us with our naked eyes, it silently and profoundly influences every aspect of our lives, every second of every day. If you are pessimistic about the world, always see the bad side of everything, and always believe you're unlucky, you create a negative energy field. You will become unlucky, constantly encountering trouble and falling into a cycle of disappointment. Conversely, those who maintain an optimistic, positive attitude create a powerful energy field that attracts good things. Even when facing difficulties or danger, they can remain calm, focus on finding solutions, and see opportunities within challenges. Ultimately, they are often the ones who overcome adversity and achieve success. So, what's the secret to a luckier, smoother life? Don't try to search for luck outside yourself. Attract it by cultivating an optimistic heart and mind from within. Focus on the good, be grateful for what you have, and believe in your own abilities and in the positive workings of the universe. When you always smile at life, no matter the circumstances, life will respond to you with kindness and the best it offers. My dear friends, we've journeyed together through the profound and deeply insightful core philosophies from Kazuo Inamori's book, Mind, the Power to Make Life as You Wish. Through over 80 years of a life filled with dramatic ups and downs, from war and near-fatal illness to business crises and extraordinary achievements, he distilled a simple yet potent truth. Everything in life begins with the mind, and everything also concludes with the mind. No danger, no difficult situation could defeat him because he always maintained right mindfulness within. Free from fear, free from complaint, always oriented towards goodness, always striving his best, and trusting in a positive outcome. For any business or individual trying to devise clever strategies, complex development plans, or applying modern techniques is necessary. But Mr. Inamori reminds us that there is something even more fundamental, more foundational. Cultivating the mind, polishing the soul, and elevating one's inner state is the solid foundation for all success and happiness in life. So what are the key takeaways BookSmart Insights wants you to remember from today's episode? Firstly, the altruistic mind is the key to success. Practice thinking and acting for the benefit of others. When you give, you receive more in return. Ask, is the motive good, before every decision? Secondly, the fighting spirit to the end. Never give up when facing difficulties. When you feel you can't go on, the real challenge begins. Believe in your abilities and fight with all your might for worthy goals. Thirdly, the 3 pillars of happiness. Always be grateful. Give thanks for everything, good and bad. Adversity is a chance for growth and clearing past negativity. Maintain humility. Recognize that everything is bestowed. Avoid arrogance to prevent misfortune. Practice unwavering diligence. Turn philosophy into action through persistent daily effort. Last but not least, the power of a positive mind. Your energy field determines your destiny. Stop complaining, cultivate optimism, and believe in good things. You will attract luck and overcome difficulties more easily. And finally, always remember Kazuo Inamori's heartfelt teaching. Everything that happens in your life reflects your mind. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mind. I truly hope today's insights from the book Mind will serve as an inspiration and a guiding compass, helping you step more confidently toward creating a successful, happy, and meaningful life. The life you desire. This book contains many more layers of profound meaning. I highly encourage you to read the entire work to gain your insights. Thank you so much for spending your time listening to today's episode of BookSmart Insights. If you found these shares helpful, please hit the like button and share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it. If you enjoy content like this, exploring personal development through good books, please support the channel by hitting that subscribe button and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos from BookSmart Insights. Every subscription and like truly means the world and fuels my passion to keep creating valuable content for you all. Once again, thank you sincerely for listening and for your support. May you always maintain a clear, strong, and peaceful mind. Goodbye for now, and I look forward to seeing you in the next videos.